Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Magic Q podcast. We are going through today and finally getting to our reactions to D23 that happened last Saturday night. A lot of y'all tuned in. I appreciate that for the live stream while I was live reacting to it. So, what we're going to do today is go through all of the announcements and everything. We are going to talk about them, and we're going to talk about how close we got on my wishes. So we'll see you on the other side.
There's magic waiting just around the bend, where every ride's a story and the memories never end. From Main Street lights, castles coming to view. Grab your ears and come along. We're waiting in the magic queue.
All right, everybody. We are back. We are on the backside of the announcements for D23 and the Disney Parks panel, which I think it went really well. There's some stuff that we're going to talk about that I'm a huge fan of. If y'all watched my live stream, you know exactly what they are. And there's going to be some stuff that I am not a fan of. As you can see, once again, I am flying solo. If you saw our Facebook page, you will see that Logan is unfortunately still down, still out. So we're flying solo again today. We hope the best for the man. His wife did send me a picture to let me know that he is on the mend. So as you can see right there, get better, buddy. We love you and we miss you. Now on to the show. So we're going to start out at the Magic Kingdom, where Piston Peak got a bit more of a look so that we could see kind of what was coming to Piston Peak and how it was gonna look. So you got the Ridge Run Rally that's coming, an additional family attraction, looks really good. The big question is, does it fit? Does it fit in the Magic Kingdom? I'm still gonna lean on the side of saying no. I think the IP stuff in the Magic Kingdom needs to be kept to a minimum if you're going to do a full land like this. This fits so much better in Hollywood Studios than it does the Magic Kingdom. Now, anybody who sits there and says that they shouldn't have gotten rid of Tom Sawyer Island, that it was their favorite attraction, I'm just going to call you a liar, because nobody was coming to Disney clamoring to go to Tom Sawyer Island. With that being said, though, getting rid of the Mark Twain riverboat, that one's kind of a hit. Like that, I think people have a much bigger gripe because people, I think, really enjoyed that ride. So with it being replaced by Piston Peak, I think as we go on, people are gonna enjoy it. The Ridge Run Rally does look like a really cool ride, so I am kind of excited for that, and I think it's gonna be good. But again, I don't like that they're replacing the Rivers of America. I'm giving Piston's Peak on a scale of 1 to 5 on my excitement level. I'm giving it a 3. I'm excited to see what they can do with it. Now, the other thing that we got was a better look at Villains Land, which is now the official name, which just screams lazy to me. I'm sorry, guys. Like, really, Villains Land? You have Monstropolis at Hollywood Studios. You have Batuu, Galaxy's Edge. You have Toy Story Land. But still, with that, like, is that really where we're going? Like, just Villains Land? There was nothing else, but it looks really interesting. I know this is something that we as fans have looked forward to for a long time. I mean, this thing is decades in the making with rumors, with what they were going to do. I think finally getting it is going to excite fans, and I'm looking forward to it. But what villains need to be represented there? I mean, you have to have Maleficent, right? You need to have the evil queen. Yeah, I really think that what you're going to have to do there is look at the Magic Kingdom as a whole and go from there and pick out the villains. So you're going to have Maleficent because there's a presence in the park. You're going to have the Evil Queen again because there's a presence in the park. Hook from Peter Pan, the Peter Pan ride, I think, has a presence there. Now, one that I'm kind of curious about that I think we could see the Hatbox Ghost, while not technically, well, no, he is a villain. Yeah, he would be considered a villain. So I think you can make an argument there for the Hatbox Ghost to be a part of Villains Land. Now, here's a question I'm going to pose to y'all. I have been to the Epic Universe at Universal Studios. We were there last year for the opening. Is that what Disney is trying to do? Is Disney trying to compete with Epic Universe? And I know the obvious answer is going to be yes, because they have to. But Universal dedicated a whole park to these immersive lands. It feels like Disney started doing that at Hollywood Studios, but has kind of backed off from it as much. And maybe going forward, we'll see more of it. But is this going to be the answer to like Dark Universe at Universal Studios? I think, as somebody who's been there, I don't think that the Magic Kingdom could compete with Dark Universe on the side of that is truly like utilizing the Universal monsters is something that is just so cool and we've never seen it before that I don't think they need to try to compete. I think what they need to do is make this its own thing and keep it there. You're not there. There's no way that they're going to be able to put something in that competes with the Frankenstein ride at Epic Universe. The roller coaster for the Wolfman, that one is a pretty cool one. It's really simple. I think it's too thrilling for the Magic Kingdom. But y'all let me know there. Let me know what y'all think and kind of where this is going to fit in with the aesthetic that is the Magic Kingdom on there. So for Villains Land, I think on a scale of 1 to 5, again, I'm gonna give that a 4.5 because I'm kind of excited to see what they do with it. Now, the next thing at the Magic Kingdom is one that is highly controversial, in my opinion, and from what I've seen. It's the Carousel of Progress refurbishment. Now, I'm excited for what they're doing with it. I'm excited for the opening to feature Walt Disney. I'm going to miss the old version because there was something just magical about that moment where the narrator comes on and starts talking about how much Walt loved it and everything before the ride starts. But I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what their idea of the future is going to be. You know, when this ride came out and over its incarnations, the final one that was supposed to represent the future, they weren't far off. I mean, from the virtual reality, I've got 2 virtual reality headsets over here. I've got the one for my PS5 and I've got a Meta one. For the oven that listens and sets temps, I don't have a smart oven, but they're out there for stuff like that. And the lights, I mean, I can control the lights in my home with my voice. So they were really, really close on with those. And I'm excited for that. What worries me though is where is the line between preserving Walt's attraction but keeping it relevant? So I'm hoping that they're going to be able to walk that line. From what I've seen, I haven't been able to confirm it. They are bringing in Bob Gurr to consult on this. Now, this is just internet rumor and innuendo. I have not been able to confirm it much, but if that's the case, my expectations just just rocket to the moon. Bob Gurr is a bona fide Disney legend. He is the Disney legend, the last of the guys who are still there that actually worked with Walt, and an absolute icon of Disney. So him being there boosts this up a lot. So scale of 1 to 5 for the Carousel of Progress theme and everything. I'm giving that a solid 4.87. All right, everybody, let's move on to Epcot. And the very first thing that we're going to have to talk about is Spaceship Earth. It is front and center, and it is by far one of my top rides that I absolutely love and is a must-do. If you've seen any of our podcast episodes, you know I don't miss Spaceship Earth whenever I'm there. So they are now working on the next evolution and updating Spaceship Earth. This one is way overdue. Like, even as somebody who loves the ride and the nostalgia of Epcot, this is way overdue. And I'm excited for what they're going to do there. They're going from human communications to a new theme that is relevant there. And I think with that, you have to be excited for what they can do there. My fear is that this thing is going to go down for the next 5 years, and we're going to have an issue. Or on the other side of that, a bigger fear is they're not going to do anything. They're never going to get around to doing this, because we've heard this before, specifically about Spaceship Earth. And I know you could say that about most of the parks and everything at Disney, but specifically about Spaceship Earth, this is something that they've touched on before and have just kind of moved away from it. But what should they do with the previous versions? What should they preserve as part of the previous versions of this ride? I mean, I'm assuming we're going to get a new narrator. I'm assuming we're going to get updated show pieces and technology in there. But what do they need to hold on to? What I would love is for them to still take a nod to the original versions of Spaceship Earth and maybe do something where you are able to patch in the narrators that they've used from their previous recordings at some point to just give that relevance to it. Now with Epcot and Spaceship Earth, that is a solid 4.8 for me. I love that ride, and I love to see what they're going to do with it. Unfortunately, we did not get any announcements for Mission Space. They kind of just didn't say anything about it. So it's going to stay that way for the foreseeable future. The other thing that I was really kind of disappointed with was we didn't get anything having to do with the old Life Pavilion. That thing is just sitting there. They were going to do it as the Play Pavilion, but then that completely got abandoned. And that's what scares me about a lot of these rides, is that Disney is notorious for announcing these things and getting people so hyped up for them and then just kind of quietly going away. And the normal visitor wouldn't think anything of it. But, those of us who pay attention, who love the Disney parks, we're the ones that are like, hey, what happened to the Play Pavilion? What happened to, this or that? And Disney just kind of shrugs us off. So, I think as a small creator, I think I would look towards the bigger creators out there to, put the fire to Disney's feet and make them commit to something with the Play Pavilion. And I can't say anything else. I mean, the Wonders of Life, the Play, most people who are young enough are going to have no idea what I'm talking about. It's that big gold building between Mission Space and the Universe of Energy, or the Guardians of the Galaxy. That one, that big building that's sitting back there that is just falling apart. And what have they done with it? What are they going to do with it? I want some of the bigger creators. Come on, y'all out there, WDW News, somebody, just talk to them and get some kind of statement on it, and so we can know just something. Now the big one. Oh man. So this is the first one of my list that we actually got. The end of the show. We got Neil Patrick Harris messing with all of us.
You made me a promise. You swore if I were to host this show, you would restore my favorite animatronic character of all time to his former glory. Behold!
And there it is. We're getting Dreamfinder being put back into the Journey into Imagination Pavilion. Now, this is another one that I am praying that is not going to end up something where he's a walk-around character. And that was my first thought. Is this going to be a walk-around character and they're not doing anything with Journey into Imagination? But if you listen to what Neil Patrick Harris says, he actually says that, you promised that you would restore my favorite animatronic. So they're doing something big with Journey into Imagination. And I am just psyched for it. What does that mean, though? Well, most of y'all know, and you can go watch the videos on my channel from where I actually wrote it just 3 months before it shut down in, I believe, 1998 when we were there. The track was a lot longer than it is now, and they've done so much remodeling with that pavilion that I think this is going to have to be a complete gutting and redo, which scares me because that's going to scare Disney, and I'm hoping it doesn't keep them from doing more with it. The track as it is now, I guess you could do something with it with putting Dreamfinder back in there, but it needs to be completely updated. Going to Journey into Your Imagination, the first incarnation that was just hated by everybody, it made sense. I think it was Kodak was the sponsor. They wanted an updated ride. Cool. They got an updated ride. During that time, next door in what they have now is the Pixar Theater or whatever it is, that was Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, which then made the whole pavilion more cohesive. That was a presentation to Wayne Szalinski of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids fame as a scientist receiving an award. Well, then what it was you were supposed to have that, and then you go into Journey into Your Imagination as the open house for the Imagination Institute. It was very cohesive. I'll give Disney that. But the ride was absolute. It was absolute just atrocity. So the story goes was that Michael Eisner wrote it, got off, and told Imagineers, fix this. And what they came up with was kind of the amalgamation that we got of Journey into Your Imagination and Journey into Imagination, but it still was cohesive with the show next door, but it brought back Figment. It had Eric Idle in it, which a lot of people don't like Eric Idle in that role. I really enjoy him in there. Okay. Except that they can get rid of, and they need to burn it down, get rid of it, never, ever, ever, ever see that moon again. Sorry, Logan. I know you love that and you need that t-shirt, but no, it's got to go. But what are y'all looking forward to? I mean, what are y'all hoping for when it comes to what they're doing with Journey into Imagination? Um, is this a like? Are they finally listening to fans who have been yearning for this ride to come back, or is this just a nostalgia play to try and rope in that nostalgia group like us, the older millennials and Generation Xers, to bring back those memories that we love, or are they legitimately caring about this? With getting back Figment and Dreamfinder, how is that not a top notch expectation? Give me 5 out of 5 for my excitement for that ride. So next, we're moving over to Disney's Hollywood Studios and the discussion of Monstropolis. So they are moving fast, which really shocks me. Disney is not known for moving their stuff along. You look at how long it took to build Guardians of the Galaxy. You look at how long it took to build Tron, which Tron was just a carbon copy of a ride at Shanghai Disney. Like, it took forever. Now, I understand COVID kind of put a stop on things, but Universal kept building. Universal was smart with it, got all of their financial things in a row while COVID was going on and interest rates were crazy low. So Disney kind of messed up there for that one. But I digress. This is moving along fast. They are opening it next year. Off the top of my head, I don't remember the original time frame, but for the fact that it's opening next year is really, really awesome. And it fits in so well with Hollywood Studios. Like we talked about with Piston Peak, it fits in. So I'm excited to see this. Now, the coaster, they started talking about the door coaster and the first suspended coaster. This one kind of makes me nervous. And really, it only makes me nervous for the fact that I don't like suspended coasters because I have knee issues and dangling my feet being 6'4". I mean, my legs hang over the edge, and that makes me nervous because going side to side and stuff just gives me a lot of pain issues. But it sounds cool. I mean, they're saying that that thing is going to take you up 4 stories in 4 seconds. That's incredible. That almost seems like a pretty thrilling coaster, which again fits in for Hollywood Studios as more thrill oriented park. You get what I'm saying? Like, you've got the Tower of Terror, you've got what is becoming Rock and Roller Coaster with the Muppets. Now this, I mean, even Star Tours, you could say, is a thrill ride. Uh, Slinky Dog. They're all kind of more thrill rides than you see at the other parks. So I'm kind of excited for this. Like, I love Monsters Inc. Looking forward to the restaurants and kind of the stuff that's going to be supporting the land itself and bringing it all together. Here's the big question. Does Hollywood Studios need another IP land, or does Monsters kind of round it out? I think this is the park where they could do a whole bunch of IP lands. You've got them now where they're kind of spread out throughout the resort area, with Piston Peak coming into Magic Kingdom, with Avatar in Animal Kingdom, which that kind of fits the aesthetics there. You've got the new stuff coming to Animal Kingdom, which we'll talk to, that is very immersive, but it fits the aesthetics there. So what other IP could fit into Hollywood Studios? Honestly, with me, I wish they would have kept the Great Movie Ride kept the walk up as the old Hollywood, and over to the side with Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster with the Muppets, without them, whatever. Um, but made that more the old Hollywood before you're now transported to these various lands. I think they could do something more too with the entrances walking into those lands, like they do at Epic Universe, where you're going into Super Mario World and you're going in the tunnel. You hear the tunnel sound from Mario Brothers. This one, you hear that. Going to the different lands, actually, there is a transition where it feels like you are now leaving Epic Universe and going to these actual places. Should Hollywood Studios do something like that? Could you see something where, like, Batu actually does it, and maybe they could do a better job instead of just a tunnel that has the laser. You can see where it's been bored out on one side going, that's where you go past Monstropolis, but the other side going through Toy Story Land, there's really nothing. You just kind of walk in. So should they do something like that? And should they do more IP lands at Hollywood Studios and maybe even change the name? Could there be something else in the name instead of Hollywood Studios, something else? And where do you think Monstropolis is going to rank against a Galaxy's Edge, Toy Story Land? Where is it going to rank in there among those? I wish Disney had the rights to Marvel, because this would be the perfect place for an Avengers campus. And I understand the logistics behind why they don't, but this would have been the perfect place for it. One of the rules with it too is if Universal Studios stops using a character, then Disney can start using it and it can't be reverted back. But that's kind of the holdup there. So what else would y'all like to see at Hollywood Studios? What else do you think would fit into this park that is slowly becoming kind of the IP land theme park? Giving Monsters Inc. land a rating, as far as excitement goes, I'm going to give it a 3.4. I'm excited for it. I'm still a bit nostalgic for the Muppets, but all in all, I'm looking forward to that one. Let's move on. Let's move on to Disney's Animal Kingdom. We got our first look at the Tropical Americas. We got our first look at what the retheming is for Dino Land USA. We have the Tropical Americas. This is going to be a land that is going to have Encanto. It's going to have a new Indiana Jones ride. So I'm really kind of excited for this one. I really enjoyed Dino Land when it first opened with Animal Kingdom. We were at Animal Kingdom just shortly after it opened in June of 1998. So we got to see kind of the original idea with Animal Kingdom and how it was supposed to be, when it was honestly just a half-day park. Like, you had really nothing when it comes to ride. So them investing more now into this with a couple of things is super cool. Like, I'm glad that they are. I'm looking forward to the ride Indiana Jones and the Myth of the Jade Serpent, which what really excites me about that is they don't really have to do anything with dinosaur. Just gut it with the dinosaurs and put the new scenes in. That's really all you need. Do the exterior theming, but the ride vehicle itself is already ready, set, go, just like in California with the Indiana Jones ride there. What's crazy to me, though, is learning that this will be the first ride to actually feature Harrison Ford's likeness. That blows my mind. Like, the ride at Disneyland, what have they been using? Like, that thing's been open for years. What happened there that you didn't have Harrison Ford to use his likeness? That is really weird, but it is super exciting for this park. The next thing that they're we're getting is the Encanto attraction. I love Encanto. I love that movie so much that this one gets me excited for the trackless ride idea, and being able to, kind of experience the casita ourselves and all of that. Now, with that being said, we're going to have a tough discussion here on the carousel that is coming to the area. Disney, why? Why? Why are you putting IP characters as the carousel ride? Why is Pumbaa there? Why is the Emperor's New Clothes or New Groove, whatever, the llama there? Why is Timon there looking like he's going to break the internet like Kim Kardashian? This one is a complete miss for me. This is a bad idea. Don't put the random Disney characters on this carousel. Put something that's themed to that area. Like, you got to come up with something better, Disney. This is a miss, solid miss for me on there. Tropical Americas, that one I'm really looking forward to. Give me a 4.2 for my excitement about Tropical Americas. That would actually be higher if it wasn't for that stupid carousel. The ride itself as a carousel, go for it. Like, beautiful. No problem there. It's the characters that you are choosing to put on there that knock it down a notch. The other attraction that gets updated at Animal Kingdom, they are fixing the Yeti. Thank you. Thank you for finally doing your job. Like, I'm sorry. People are super psyched about this. Joe Rohde promised us years ago that it was going to get fixed. And they're making this announcement like, hey, guess what? We're going to do our job and fix this. Like, great. I'm glad that you're doing your job and that we are going to get this massive animatronic back. But this is something that should have been done a decade ago. I mean, when it first went down, that should have been an immediate fix. This Disco Yeti thing that they've had for the last 20 years. Come on, man. Like, fix it, do your job, and fix the ride. So for Expedition Everest, for the excitement level with that, I'm taking a 1.5. Like, I'm not super excited for it. I rode it when the Yeti worked. All you got to do is your job and fix the damn animatronic. Well, that does it for Walt Disney World. So really, when it came to Disney World, I mean, I think I got one, which in that, my last episode, I said, if I can get one of these, I'll be happy. I got Dreamfinder and Figment. We're good to go. Let's jump over to the Disneyland Resort. Again, as y'all know, I've only been to Disneyland once in the last 40 years of my life. So, and I'm 41. So this one, I want Disneyland to entice me back because I really had a good time there, but there were so many things that just went against Disneyland that I need to be enticed back with that. So let's start at the Avengers campus. We're getting new attractions there. So we're getting Infinity Defense and the Start Flight Lab. Those, like, I mean, there's really nothing to be said about it. Marvel continues to pump out movies that go in the MCU, and I'm here for it. I'm a huge comic book fan. Most of this room that you can see in the background is comic book based. It is a nerd room. So you're going to get me on those. Knowing that the MCU actors are returning to help with those attractions, I'm excited for it. I like also that this portion of the MCU kind of sits on its own. Now, with everything coming up in Avengers Doomsday, how are they going to transition that to the park, because I feel like Avengers Campus still has to be a part of the storytelling. Like, you still need to tell a story with the movies and the park, but are you able to kind of fudge it a little bit, keeping things out of it? Like, are you still going to have Tony Stark as Iron Man in that park where he's a meet and greet person, despite the fact that Robert Downey Jr. will be Doom in the upcoming movie? So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that. And my question here would be, does this finally make Avengers Campus feel like a complete land, or is there something more that you want to see them do with it? For Avengers Campus, on that scale of 1 to 5, man, give me a solid 4.6. Give me a 4.69, because I am pretty psyched up for that. So I think that you're starting to get me interested in coming back. Come on, Disneyland, let's do something here. And the next thing we have is the Coco attraction that is coming to Disney's California Adventure. Again, another movie that I absolutely love. They announced a sequel, which I don't think it needed a sequel, but
Move this man!
Disney their IPs, so why not? So I think that's gonna be another good one, a boat ride that there's a lot of potential there. I mean, that's really all I'm gonna say about it. I think that one is gonna be really fun, and I think it's gonna be. I think the potential there to use the tech is really, really exciting for what they can do there. They also announced Tomorrowland is going to be reimagined. This one I am psyched for. Like, there is so much lost with Tomorrowland, and I get it. You have the problem of tomorrow always coming. I get that. I get that you can't do what they initially did, where this is what it's going to be like, what the future holds for society. I get that they can't do that there, because initially, when the park opened in 1955, I believe that Tomorrowland was based off of what the world would look like in 1985. We are 41 years past that. It's a constant change that I think they're going to have to find something that is more long term. But with that, I'm hoping that means that they're going to fix the people mover. They didn't come out and say it, and they didn't give a whole lot of details about what was going to be included in this reimagining. But I'm hoping that that's really part of it. It needs to be. With Tomorrowland, I am super excited to see what they can do with this. My excitement level, give me a 4.8, because it's about time Disney invest in Tomorrowland at Disneyland. Let's do something that takes Walt's original idea of a future that honestly will never come. That's what Disneyland Paris did years ago when it first opened. It was based off of Jules Verne and was steampunk and was just done so well because it was a future that would never come. So they didn't have to mess with it. They did, but they didn't have to. And that's what we need to do with Tomorrowland at Disneyland. So let's touch real quick on the international parks. I think there's some cool stuff. Disneyland Paris is getting a Lion King attraction. They are going back to the original Space Mountain that was there from the Earth to the Moon, which is by far, from my videos and stuff I've seen, by far the best version of Space Mountain. And I believe it actually has an inversion in it. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it does. So super cool there. Tokyo Disney Resort, which is the top of the list of parks I want to visit that are international. Tokyo Disney, that's the that's the peak of what Disney can do. When they've got the funds to do it, that is peak. And they are getting a reimagining of Space Mountain. They are getting Wreck-It Ralph. I mean, it's pretty exciting for what they have coming, and I think it's great. I think it's great. I'm really kind of looking forward to it. You got Hong Kong and Shanghai getting updates. The Abu Dhabi park, I'm just not. I'm not in it. I don't. I'm just not. That's not going to be somewhere that I would ever visit. I mean, I'm glad for them that they're getting something, but that's not my style. So not too fired up about that. So let's talk about the biggest winners and losers. So this is the time when y'all get to tell me what y'all think. So the best announcement, in my opinion, from D23 is getting back Dreamfinder and Figment. I think that one is by far the best one. And I think that that is not something anybody would disagree with. I think that is honestly everybody who is a fan of Walt Disney World and knows the original attraction is excited for. The most surprising announcement, what do y'all think that was? I think it, in my opinion, the most surprising announcement was that the Yeti was getting fixed. That was something I did not see coming. I figured that at this point, it's been long enough. It's not like people are going to Expedition Everest and saying, well, the Yeti doesn't work, so nah, I'm gonna pass. Like that's not happening. So I think that was the most surprising. But what do y'all think on that one? What do y'all feel is the announcement that you're most skeptical about? This one is one that there's going to be a couple of things that I am hesitant to be excited for. The first one is Journey into Imagination. That one worries me. It worries me that Disney is not gonna step up and do something amazing. They're gonna find a way to wedge Dreamfinder and Figment back into kind of a mediocre version of the original without really doing a whole lot to the current track. That one's got me worried. Spaceship Earth, I am very skeptical about. We have been talking about them redoing Spaceship Earth for the last 10, 15 years, and it just never comes through. So I'm those are the ones I'm skeptical about. What do y'all think? What worries you that this is something we've gotten fired up for, but more than likely you're hesitant to be excited for it? What was the biggest missed opportunity for D23? For me, I think that was not announcing anything more in detail with the Tomorrowland retheming. Like, tell us what you're planning on doing, and that kind of goes back to the skeptical side. Is what does that retheming entail? Are you just going to put a new coat of paint on everything and redo a couple of rides and call it a day? Are you going to try to restore Tomorrowland to what it was? That I think was the biggest missed opportunity. And which park won D23? I think they all got great stuff. That's a solid one that I think I'd be interesting to hear your opinion about. Which park won the announcements and which park still needs the most help? I think, in my opinion on that one, it's going to be Epcot. They've done so much work on Epcot over the last 5 to 10 years, and it still needs so much more. I mean, you've got the just starting Spaceship Earth. They address that. Awesome. You go to your left, you've got Guardians of the Galaxy, which has been taken care of. That one's going to be there for a while. Cool, we're good there. Wonders of Life Pavilion, what are we doing? Mission Space, what are we doing? You've got Test Track, which just got updated. Cool. We're good there. World Showcase. What are we doing? Coming back around. Imagination Pavilion. Getting its update. Hopefully. Awesome. The Land. That's something that the last major update there was adding Soarin'. They've just gone back to Soarin' over America, but now they're just kind of flip-flopping between movies. What are we doing there? With the Living Seas, you've got an IP that was kind of squeezed in there. It fits, great, but what are we doing there? It hasn't been updated in so long. So, me personally, I think Epcot needs the most help, but let me know what y'all think on that. So, here's some bigger Disney parks questions. They are massively spending on new lands, which is great. It's showing that they are invested in Disney World. Great. Awesome. I'm excited for it. But they're really kind of leaning heavily on those established IPs. And for anybody who's wondering, IP just stands for intellectual property. This is gonna get dangerous, and I'll explain to you why. Because you're gonna start getting away from these IPs. The farther we go, the less relevant that they are. So that does one of two things. That either requires Disney to keep farting out movies and TV shows based on those IPs, or you have to change the IP that is there. Now, there's certain ones that I think are forever going to be relevant. Star Wars. Star Wars, I think, is going to forever be a relevant IP that they have. Marvel, I think, will always be a relevant IP. Now, because they lean into the MCU so much more, I think that's where you're going to find a problem there. Guardians of the Galaxy, you've got the actors who are there playing them. They're not always going to be the actors. That's where you're going to find the issue with the IP stuff. So what do y'all think? Is this a good idea that they lean into the IP? Or is this something that you kind of feel like I do, that it's walking a dangerous line? The other big question is the projects that were announced. Is this enough to compete with Universal's recent expansion and what they've got coming up? I mean, I'm still showing that Universal is still looking to expand the Epic Universe stuff. They are filing permits for more rides at the Dark Universe. There's a rumored expansion for the Harry Potter world at Epic Universe. So I think they're going to keep going, and I know it's a never-ending race between the two, but is this enough to get somebody excited about Disney versus Universal? And are fans getting genuinely new experiences, or mostly replacements and rethemes? I think with that, yes, would be the answer. We're getting new experiences with Piston Peak, but we're also Disney fans, and we're just the peak of nostalgia. I think a lot of people who are now taking their kids to Disney parks went there as children, and we long for a Disney park that no longer exists. So whenever they lean into that nostalgia, it gets us more excited. So I think they're doing a good job walking that line so far, but the IP stuff is going to start getting a little overbearing. Like I said in the last podcast, give us something original. Give us something that isn't an IP, and keep stuff that is not an IP from becoming an IP. So there you have it. That is our reactions to D23 announcements and our discussion there. So really, I got one of the things that I wanted, which I said if I don't get anything other than this one, I'll be happy. I got it. I'm going to give myself a half a point for the People Mover possibly coming back because they're retheming Tomorrowland. And I think that the potential there for them to do something with it is exciting. So I'm going to give myself half a point on that one. But y'all let me know what you think. Rank your top 3 park announcements from D23. Let me know what you like there, what you don't like. You know, what is your number 1 announcement? Because I'm genuinely curious about what you think is the best thing that they are coming, and what are you excited about? What are you disappointed for? Hopefully we will be back soon with Logan back going full and can start getting back to what we love, which is talking about nostalgia in Disney parks. Our next stop is Hollywood Studios, which is a very unique thing. Like I said before, we're going to have a amazing crossover with my other podcast, a Ducking Wrestling podcast, where we discuss the cross with Disney MGM Studios and the early days of WCW. But go find us. We are on Facebook as the Magic Cube Podcast. Go check us out. We are on Instagram as well. Let us know what y'all want to see. I hope that y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the queue.
Grab your ears and come along. We're waiting in the Magic Cube.